Hello everybody, welcome back to my little corner of the internet. Pray you're all doing wonderful and are keeping in extremely good health and in perfect happiness. So today we're going to be continuing our conversation on all things holistic self-care practices, because as we mentioned in the previous videos, this is the self-care that genuinely matters, because it is going to take care of the body, take care of the mind, and take care of the spirit. But before we get started, I just want to give you a little backstory. Growing up, I have always dreamt of being a ballerina. I wanted to be a ballerina so badly, and I grew up in Zimbabwe, so obviously ballet is not something that was common, but I don't know, I always fancied it, maybe because my imagination used to run away with me, because I grew up reading Mallory Towers, Nancy Drew, The Famous Five, The Hardy Boys. Yes, I do have 5 brothers, so therefore obviously I was exposed to all those books, so my imagination was a bit wild, and I always had this fantasy or this dream of being a ballerina. So one time, this was last year, one of my yoga teachers whom I love and really look up to, she's got an amazing and most beautiful spirit, and she said to me, "You're starting to look like a ballerina." And of course to her it was just a compliment, but to me it healed so many things, so many things. It was definitely one of those things that I counted as a blessing to my inner child healing journeys, because obviously inner child healing is extremely important, and it healed so many things. To her, like I said, it was just a compliment, but to me this was going back to my little 7-year-old and saying, hey, we're flowing through yoga with the grace of a ballerina, so this is as good as it gets. And it was just a healing thing for me. And that leads me to this weekend. I had this lady, ballerina farm, being suggested to me a couple of times, and I thought to myself, oh well, I don't usually consume YouTube content, maybe because I'm a creator myself, so therefore I feel like I spend too much time on it already. I hardly watch content, but she's been suggested to me a few times over. And then the Daily Wire, I love the Daily Wire though, and somebody was covering ballerina farm, so I thought ballerina, and I was like, okay, fine, I might as well just click on it. So it was one of those moments where the algorithm genuinely moved with the spirit of Yahweh, because I stumbled upon this woman. She is insanely gorgeous. She's a mother of 8. She's a first generation farmer, her and her husband. They've got beautiful children. She was Mrs. America, and she is so graceful and so beautiful, and everything about her is just like so dreamy. And I know that lifestyle is unattainable for a lot of us. We can only watch and be amazed, obviously, because she literally is a human unicorn. And which leads me to my first point. When it comes to holistic self-care, we really have to start operating from the divinity of who we are. And this is very difficult, because once you tap into that divinity part of you, things that used to bother you don't bother you anymore. You start to operate from your true self, and you start to let your creativity come through. You're not afraid of being judged, you're not afraid of being different, you are just being you. And I think this is what being holistic is all about, because it starts by really operating from that godlike person of you, basically the way God really sees you, not so much about how the world sees you, not so much about how you want to be presented. It's less aesthetic and more about just being you. And a lot of us, we are afraid of being that, because obviously we have to conform, we have to be like everybody else. And I think we lose our specialness that way when we start operating from that place of being a cookie cutter, or saying what everybody says, dressing like everybody dresses, and talking like everybody talks. And we lose that specialness, because people like ballerina farm, I don't know her, I mean personally, obviously, like I said, I just literally binge watched like 4 or 5 videos from Saturday until Sunday, and with every video I just fall more and more in love with her, because she is just being herself. And she said her and her husband, they that dream of owning the ranch and owning a farm and cooking meals from scratch, making their own butter, making their own cheese, and drinking full fat milk, and childbirth, home childbirth as well. And I'm like, wow, this is, I mean, I'm a mother myself. I'm a mother of one, and I struggle with one child. Can you imagine if you have like 8? And obviously they have help, which is fantastic. But the point I really want to drive home is that she is herself, and that glow just comes through, and it's difficult not to love her. And I think we really need to get back to that place where we can live from the divinity of ourselves, and let our uniqueness come through, because I think that's where our light is, and we're losing our light because we are so afraid of being ourselves. But two, when it comes to being more holistic, is meditation. Meditation is when you quiet the mind. Again, going back to the divinity of who we are, connecting with God, connecting with source, connecting with spirit, whatever it is you want to call it. I call it God because I'm a Christian basically. And so this is where you quiet your mind, and then you actually say, God, not my will but your will. And even Jesus, when he was about to be crucified, he went into the garden of Gethsemane to pray, and he had to leave behind his disciples. And some of them were like, Master, can we come with you? He said, no, this is where you stay, and this is where I go forward on my own, to be in prayer, to be in meditation. And when we meditate, we're going to lower our stress levels, we're going to tap into our creativity, we're going to heal our sacral chakra, heal our crown chakras, we're going to open our third eyes, we're going to just connect with God. And in silence, that's where we can really tap in, because again, we live in that era where we have so much to watch. We've got TikTok, we have Facebook, we have Instagram stories, WhatsApp status. It's a lot. So sometimes it's about just turning it down. Killian said, just stop.
I hate when people don't turn off the clicking sound on their phone, when they're texting. Click, click. Just turn it off. Right. It's so annoying. Just mute it.
I love him. He's quite introverted, much like me as well. And unless if I meet my people, then I am never gonna shut up. But in terms of just being introverted, that practice comes naturally to me, because I love the quietness. I just love to listen more, and it takes a lot of practice. So you can start by 5 minutes, maybe in the morning or in the evening, depending on your schedule. Not everybody is going to be the same, so whatever works for me is not going to work for you, and whatever works for me is not going to work for you. And that's the beauty of life. So it really is just about finding those pockets of moments where you can just be silent. And if you have the space to have a nook, to have a meditation or your prayer corner where you can read and relax and unwind, and then this place, every time you see it, obviously it's going to invite you to just be in quietness without any distractions. That is also going to help you with your meditation practice. So start with 5 days. Again, build up your resistance, build up your muscle, so that you can go a little bit longer. And also there's guided meditation. You can play raindrops, water, whatever it is that you like. There is something for everybody. So it's just about trying different techniques until you find that which sticks. And Deepak Chopra has fantastic meditations as well on the internet, on YouTube, and also on Spotify. So start and see what changes in your body, within your stress levels and your sleep patterns as well. That is going to definitely change. Third point, which is prayer. Much like meditation, prayer is also another gateway to spirit. It is another gateway to connect with God and to feel that you're not so alone. I know we're so connected now because obviously we get emails, we have WhatsApp, we're instantly connected. And with Kareem, you can have Kareem Plus. It's instantly delivered. You don't even have to pay for the full delivery fees. And so it seems like we are connected, but we are more disconnected than ever. And So I would say definitely consider praying. Much like meditation, it also depends on who you connect with, and it's going to differ for everybody. So the good thing about prayer is that you don't feel so alone, you don't feel so disconnected. You have a place to go to, you have God to connect with, and your healing becomes easier, and you're not walking this walk alone, and you feel supported, and you feel like you're not walking this scary walk alone, if you will. My fourth point is getting back to a place of love. According to A Course in Miracles, it says that what is not understood is not loved, and what is not loved is not understood. This has taken me a lifetime to learn. I'm still learning this one because I honestly fall by the wayside. If you're familiar with the fairy tale of the Princess and the Frog, so this is the princess. What does the princess do? She kisses the frog, and then the frog turns into a handsome prince. So there is this deep psychological connection between total acceptance and love, and also there's a lot of esoteric wisdom in not just the Princess and the Frog fairy tale, but in a lot of them. I love that one because, like I said, what is not understood cannot be loved, and what is not loved cannot be understood. So when you accept people the way they are, less nagging, less criticizing, less complaining, less pointing fingers, you are going to actually take the time to understand them, because you're not attacking them. You want to understand where they're coming from and who they are and why they are the way they are. And also that also applies to that self-love, not the self-love that is about me, myself, and I, me, take everything and give nothing back. No, this is about genuine love. And once we start loving ourselves and less criticizing ourselves, we are going to thrive. We're going to transform from being frogs to princesses and princes, because love makes everything better. He said love is enough to get anything done, definitely. And so the same with love, it really is that secret or miraculous ingredient that is going to unlock so many levels of potential, not just in ourselves but in all of us. If you're going to, let's say, be hard on yourself, maybe hard on your cooking, and you're not going to try again, are you? Because you're just going to say, okay, fine, you know what, I'm going to order McDonald's. It comes with a McFlurry. I love McFlurries. I can happily have a McFlurry every single day. I love it. I blame my boy for introducing me to them. So that is the quickest way for us to really blossom into our full potential, by having more self-compassion and compassion for others, and having more love for others as well. So that this way, even a mother, when you tell them, oh my God, that meal is amazing, doesn't it inspire her mommy to make more chicken fingers for little Johnny? Of course it does, because Johnny enjoys mommy's chicken fingers. And unlike when we go, oh my God, they're so soggy, they are not salted enough, they're not crispy enough, they're not moist enough, I'm never gonna make fish fingers, am I? Because I'll be thinking, you know what, nobody's gonna eat them, people think my fish fingers are rubbish. Whereas if they love the crispiness on the outside and and how tender they are on the inside, and nice and hot and crispy, I think it's going to inspire me to try even more. Next time I'm going to be trying baked potatoes, so I'm going to make chips to go with the fish fingers. Really need to get back to a place of love. And last but certainly not least, finding your sisters, finding people whom you can be accountable with. If you're in the church, even better, because already you have that commonality. You are all on this journey together. So you can have different people for different goals as well. It all depends on where you are on your journey and what you're trying to accomplish. And the good thing about finding your tribe is that you're going to feel supported as well. You're going to feel basically accountable, and you're going to check up on each other, check in on each other, and meet up, have coffee, discuss where you are on this journey. And I think that will make a massive difference. And that being said, you also need to feel safe with those people, feel safe with your accountable partner, because sometimes, again, we are all going through whatever it is that we're going through. So therefore, sometimes it's difficult to really find people you can connect with on that intimate level, and people whom you can see as your confidants, basically. And in the manner of Elizabeth and Mary, when they met, well, Elizabeth was pregnant with John the Baptist, and Mary was pregnant with baby Jesus. What happened when they got together? The babies in their bellies, they leapt at the same time. So that is the kind of connection I'm talking about. If you're fortunate enough to find those people whom your soul dances basically when you meet them, you are happy, you don't feel like you need to be in flight or fight sort of a mode. I think that will be fantastic, and those are the sisters that can take you further on your journey, and you can do it together and feel supported. So yeah, it was just a bit of rumbling today, I guess, and we can never cover this topic and obviously in one sitting. So I do have another collection of the same holistic videos, just different things that we're targeting. That being said, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Take care of one another, love one another, and be kind to one another. If nothing else, I shall be seeing you in my next video, and don't forget to subscribe.